There we go, you got it. Yeah!
Mike Tyson just ripped off the legend label and swapped it for clown. And trust me, I'm not exaggerating. If you haven't heard yet, the man was caught partying with Jake Paul at Donald Trump's inauguration. Yes, that Jake Paul, the one he supposedly hated. Remember when he said,
You gonna knock him out? I think I'm gonna hurt him, yes.
Now fans like us are left picking up the pieces of our shattered trust. These two spent the entire year faking a rivalry, playing with our emotions like puppeteers, only to pull this stunt, leaving us betrayed and confused. The clip of Jake lifting Tyson onto his shoulders like he's his gym bro broke the internet, and not in a good way. Tagging him as his best friend on Instagram? Please. The betrayal runs deep, and the more I think about it, the more their motives stink. Tyson and Paul are officially declared the scammers of the decade, and we fans are left traumatized for life.
Some people claiming that it was rigged because many people bet a lot of money and they lost a lot of money.
What do you get when a boxing legend trades punches with a YouTube troll, and they cap it off at a presidential circus hosted by Donald Trump? The biggest joke of the century. Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, and Trump in the same room feels less like a headline and more like the setup to a terrible joke nobody wants to hear.
Reason, and one reason only, and that is the money. He's getting paid so much money to do this. So that tells me he's getting bought. So again, it is sad that someone like Mike Tyson...
Let's dissect this mess and figure out how Tyson and Paul turned the sweet science into a bad Netflix comedy. It all started with a so-called boxing match between Tyson, the man who once struck fear into opponents, and Jake Paul, a guy whose most dangerous weapon is his Wi-Fi connection. They squared off at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, a place that's seen real legends, only to turn it into a reality TV set. The result? Paul, the walking YouTube comment section, somehow got a unanimous decision over Tyson, who spent more time looking confused than actually throwing punches. Yeah, that seems totally legit.
Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight.
Interesting.
Script.
How so? What do you mean by
It's just
script?
weird. It just...
Like scripted in what way?
No, I don't know. I actually really like Jake Paul. It just seems so... It's odd, bro.
The timing. It's a timing.
I mean,
He
it's
fights
obviously
two-
odd.
No, he fights two no-names, beats them both.
Tyson, bless his heart, entered the fight with tough talk.
I think I'm gonna have to handle this situation. You gonna knock him out? I think I'm gonna hurt him, yes.
Well, X has spoken. The fight was scripted. Everyone is talking about this on X, and the script was actually leaked on X a few days ago.
Then came the weigh-in, the pinnacle of absurdity. Paul accidentally stepped on Tyson's foot, earning a slap so half-hearted it could have been choreographed by a high school drama teacher. Tyson's legendary death stare made a cameo, but Paul's profanity-laced meltdown stole the spotlight. It was like watching a toddler throw a tantrum at Target. By the time the bell rang for the actual fight, everyone watching knew this wasn't about boxing. It was about who could pull off the best performance in this circus act.
He's an angry little elf. Mike Tyson, I thought that was a cute slap, buddy, but tomorrow you're getting knocked the f*** out. I'm f***ing him up, Burial. I'm f***ing him up. He hits like a It's personal now. It's personal now. He must die.
But wait, it gets worse. After this epic battle, where do these supposed mortal enemies head? To Trump's inauguration party, of course, because nothing says credible athlete like schmoozing at a political rally turned frat party. Tyson and Paul were spotted laughing it up, clinking glasses and posing for Instagram like long-lost BFFs. The best part? A photo of Jake Paul lifting Tyson onto his shoulders like some kind of victorious. Tyson, fist raised, looked less like a heavyweight champion and more like a dad embarrassing himself at a family barbecue. And Paul, never one to miss an opportunity for clout, captioned the photo, best friends, and tagged Tyson. Of course, a scripted fight generates best friends, right? Yeah, nothing says we just had a brutal fight like playing frat bros at a Washington shindig. It's almost impressive how quickly they went from I hate you to let's hang out. The bad blood was faker than Paul's boxing credentials.
And it's just an honor to be able to fight him. And he's obviously the toughest, baddest man on the planet. So it was really tough, like I expected it to be.
Fans got played, believing the fake drama, trash talk, and staged animosity. The result? A couple of millionaires laughing all the way to the bank. The so-called heist of the century doesn't even do it justice. Tyson and Paul didn't just embarrass themselves, they disrespected the very integrity of boxing. What should have been a real fight turned into a spectacle, showing how easily the sport's reputation can be tarnished for profit. It's a betrayal to true fans.
What is your assessment of Jake Paul, the boxer?
He's a very good fighter.
Do you think he deserves respect from the public?
Absolutely.
Hey, that was a good slap. I like that.
$60 million? That's what the so-called Netflix boxing spectacle brought in, now dubbed the $60 million heist, and honestly, calling it a heist doesn't even capture the absurdity. Jake Paul, humanity's least requested experiment in boxing, walked away with an eye-popping $40 million, while Mike Tyson, once the unstoppable heavyweight destroyer, settled for a mere $20 million. $60 million for what? A glorified sparring session disguised as the legitimate sporting event. Fans have called it the heist of the century, and for once, the internet actually got it right.
I'm just fighting to take care of my bills, basically. I don't have the stomach for this kind of no more. I'm more conscious of my children and those guys looking at my appearance. I don't have that ferocity. I'm not an animal anymore.
Does that mean we won't see you fight again?
Tyson and Paul didn't just sell tickets. They sold the dream. Tyson's larger-than-life reputation and Paul's talent for stirring up the internet combined into a marketing Frankenstein that could have sold ice to a polar bear. Fans flocked to their screens expecting blood, sweat, and the sweet satisfaction of Tyson teaching Paul a lesson. What they got instead was a bizarre mix of WWE theatrics and YouTube drama, with just enough boxing thrown in to technically call it a fight. The backlash? Glorious! Social media exploded with fans who felt like they'd been pickpocketed while smiling for the cameras. Comments like, "They played us for millions," and "Rig fight equals money," and "Friendship were the tame ones." Even the freeloaders, the ones who illegally streamed the fight, felt scammed. When the free watchers are mad, you know you've reached a new level of con artistry. But don't worry, Jake Paul's glorified PR team, MVP Promotions, was quick to fire back with damage control. They released a statement claiming that rigging a professional boxing match is a federal crime. Oh, fantastic, because reminding everyone that rigging is illegal totally proves you, right? That's like saying, I can't be a thief, stealing is against the law. Sure, Jake, sure.
Foremost, Mike Tyson, it's such an honor. Let's give it up for Mike, bro. He's a legend. He's the greatest to ever do it.
If you thought Jake Paul would take his ill-gotten millions and quietly fade away, think again. The guy's already planning his next circus with a shopping list of opponents that reads like a combat sports hall of fame. Floyd Mayweather Jr., Ryan Garcia, and even UFC powerhouse Alex Pereira. Yes, you heard that right. The guy who spent 12 rounds dodging punches from a 57-year-old thinks he's ready for the big leagues. Honestly, the audacity is impressive. Someone give this man a trophy for the most delusional athlete of the decade. Let's not overlook the sheer comedic genius of Jake Paul's antics. This is the same guy who somehow turned stepping on Tyson's foot into a viral moment. The same guy who slapped a boxing legend like he was auditioning for a soap opera. Maybe next, he'll challenge a bear to a fight or take on a squirrel in a backyard showdown. Jake Paul doesn't do boxing, he does performance art. It's a circus, and we're all guilty of buying tickets to the freak show. And then there's Mike Tyson. Oh, Mike, the baddest man on the planet, has officially completed his transformation into a walking punchline. This is the same guy who once struck fear into the hearts of every heavyweight alive, now reduced to playing Jake Paul's sidekick. From biting ears to cashing checks for rigged fight, that's just the final nail in the coffin of his credibility. If this was supposed to be his grand comeback, it's time to bow out gracefully. Or at least delete Instagram. So here's the big question. Was it worth it? Was $60 million enough to justify turning boxing into a meme for Tyson and Paul? The answer is clearly yes for them, but for the fans? Let's just say it's going to take a lot more than a legal disclaimer to erase the taste of this scam. This wasn't a fight, it was a financial mugging with a referee. Tyson and Paul weren't opponents, they were partners in crime. The only people who got knocked out were the ones who believed this was ever about boxing. Imagine being a diehard Tyson fan tuning in to see the legend reclaim some glory. Only to watch him get outmaneuvered by a guy whose biggest accomplishment is convincing people he can fight. And let's not forget Paul's fans, the ones who actually think he's revolutionizing the sport. Newsflash, he's not. He's just turning it into another cash grab, complete with Instagram captions and viral sound bites.